Previously on A Galaxy United. After collectively licking their wounds, Juvia, Epsilon, and Enoch returned to the decrepit remains of the base of the Cult of Isaidus they found in the long-abandoned refugee sector, looking to find any trace of where the surviving cult members escaped to in order to stop them. Legion joined them with two new faces in tow, Zeno and Zeeg, to assist the party in their search. With the help of the newest members of the party, they found an escape tunnel that led them through the sewers of Nar Shaddaa. As they followed down into the depths of Nar Shaddaa, they found themselves in the sprawling landscape that was the factories at the very bottom of the city moon. These were used to process waste and turn it into fuel to keep the planet running, and an easy place to hide. However, the party soon found the location of the remaining cult members. With quick cunning and tactical know-how, they disposed of the cult members, destroyed the data pad so they couldn't attempt to hack Revan's information, and left with a much more successful mission than prior. Once back aboard the Unity station, the newest members were given the tour of their new home while on this mission. After settling in and adjusting to the change in the crew roster, now was the time to focus on following Revan's leads. Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manaan, Korriban. All worlds that Revan had been to before that had led her into finding the Starforge ages ago. What secrets do these worlds hold in finding the other Starforges in the galaxy? Who else might be searching for them? All questions with no answers. For now. Alrighty, so last time we got our two new party members introduced to the rest of you guys. You spent some time in the refugee sector investigating where the remnants of the Cult of Isaidus had gone. And then you guys took a lovely little detour into the sewers. It was a fun time had for all. Everybody had a grand old time. You wound up in the very low bottom sector of Nar Shaddaa where the factories were and found the remnants of the cult. Wherein, when you did, Zeno used some charisma to get the data pad, then dropped a frickin' thermal detonator, blinding everybody. And just, yeah, you outsmarted them way harder than I was anticipating. And then, you successfully destroyed the data pad, making it completely impossible for the cult to gain the information you guys have from Revan. You returned to the Unity station where you got the grand tour, got to meet the bestest girl in the galaxy, and have since kind of been resting and recuperating and just kind of getting adjusted to everything else. Juvia now has a sturdier door. You're welcome. So that's a plus. But about a day later, you guys get collectively notified to go into a central meeting room within the Unity station, because Arashi had found some further information to help you guys and was forwarding it to you to take. So as you guys go to the central meeting room, there is a central little platform for holo maps, holovids, that sort of thing. It's the equivalency of basically an office with a projector. As you guys arrive, you can see the holo-generated map, the galaxy map, shown up with several planets that were mentioned prior lit up. Tatooine, Kashyyyk, Manaan, and Korriban. These are planets that Revan has gone to prior and had found the Starforge maps on, or the star maps leading to the Starforges on. Hence, they would be where you would have to go eventually. Enoch, you in particular, because you're sneaky bros with Arashi apparently now. You get sent a message, you get a notification on your data pad from Arashi. There's an attached file, but the message from Arashi reads, "Found further information hidden in Revan's datapad. I think you will want to see this."
He'll take a look at what was sent.
Okay. Do you just view it privately, or do you allow for the party to see the projection as well?
He'll show it to the party.
Okay, okay. I just had to ask. I wasn't sure if he would keep it from them or not. So as you are viewing this information, it kind of comes up on the central hollow stand, the map blowers, and then it seems to be a hollow vid. You guys immediately recognize, uh, generally just from knowing history, not necessarily personally, unless you're a fangirl, you see the face of Revan, seeming like she is recording a message. This, again, seems to be hastily recorded. You would notice that she is a little bit older than the original messages. This is dated approximately around the time of the events of the Kashyyyk. So this was recorded just before the Kashyyyk crew met up with her. But she's sitting there. She kind of seems tired, worn. Uh, Obviously, she's been doing a lot of traveling and venturing into the galaxy to recover her lost memories, but it seems like she's more tired than you would have expected. Like she's carrying a heavy weight on her. And as she's kind of looking into the recording, she begins speaking. "The memories are coming back. More than I wanted, less than I'd like, but they're coming back. I'm seeing flickers, things that Malik and I did, things I did, and connections with the star maps. I'm I'm seeing connections that aren't on the star maps as we've recorded them. This is I did something to fudge the maps, and it's hiding connections. I don't remember going into the unknown sector, but I would wager these connections allow for going into there. I've got to go back. I've got to go back to Tatooine, to Kashyyyk, Manaan, Korriban, all of them. I need to get back to these maps and make these connections. It's the only way to get rid of these star forges." And then she kind of pauses and she kind of looks down for a moment before looking back up. And she goes, "The future of the galaxy is at risk. I have to stop these star forges." And the recording cuts. And as that fades, the galaxy map lifts back up with the planets showing up again.
Essentially, we can infer from that that the maps that we're getting from these might not actually be the real maps.
There is either information missing or information that is not easily accessed that's in the maps. So you will either need to hack into the hidden information essentially, or try to find the pieces in between. and the maps on these planets are literally the only ways to start it.
Enoch's just standing there with one arm across his chest, propping up the other that's just kind of rubbing his jaw as he's thinking while staring at where the recording had been.
That's about as cryptic as it gets, isn't it?
Most definitely.
Zeke got distracted by the word fudge and is currently fiddling around in his robes looking for a snack.
I am not surprised.
I guess we figure out which planet we head to next. Try and find these map pieces.
Makes sense to me.
Where do we go first?
I will say, Enoch, you in particular are very familiar with Korriban for a wide variety of reasons. So that one you are pretty familiar with. The rest of you, to recall information about these planets, would you guys please roll me a lore check?
Does that include Enoch or no? Just
for the rest of the planets, yes.
I actually rolled in that 20.
That's a 3
Damn.
for Zeke.
Okay. Okay, we're showing off our space knowledge.
Zeke is still looking for a snack.
and that is 17 for Enoch.
Damn. So far, everyone's rolling really, really well. Good goddamn.
We
Jesus.
know our shit. What can we say?
You and I have different definitions of rolling well. I
Well,
rolled a
okay.
3.
Listen. I expect that of Zeke. Everybody else.
The bar is on the floor for Zeke, is what you're saying.
I love a himbo more than anything, so I am not shocked. But everybody else rolled at least a 15 or higher, which was good. That is what you needed. Some of you knocked it out of the park and were way too excessive in your space knowledge. Calm down.
No.
So we'll go from lowest to highest, leaving the nat 20. I will say collectively, you guys know, that Tatooine is a desert planet. You also know that it, like Nar Shaddaa, is run by the Hutts. So there's a lot of unsavory characters there. Manaan is a mostly water planet. It is the home of the Selkath. It is also the biggest planet where you can get Kolto, the healing gel in your med packs. Like, it's been a strictly neutral world, but now that the Empire and the Republic are working together, its profits are skyrocketing. Korriban, of course, is the home of the Sith. Enoch knows all about that.
Epsilon does to an extent
Epsilon
as
too.
well.
Yeah, Epsilon would know about that very well. Unfortunately. And Kashyyyk is the home planet of the Wookiees. It is mostly jungle. There's a few coastal areas, but a lot of it is jungle. that being said, Enoch, you have quite a bit of familiarity with desert planets, so you feel like you would easily be able to navigate Tatooine as it is. You've been on desert planets before. It's not gonna be too difficult for you. Excuse me. Uh, you, Enoch, you would feel a bit more comfortable there just because it's a bit more in your element. Either Tatooine or Korriban would be much more in your element. Epsilon, you would definitely feel more comfortable just by knowledge with Korriban because of your intimate knowledge there, but you were also more familiar with the other planets, knowing that, you know, the navigation on Tatooine would be very difficult because of its sprawling desert landscape. Kashyyyk, massive jungles, lots of heights, so if you're afraid of heights, sorry about it. Manaan, you probably will have to go swimming. And Juvia, you are also very familiar with the planets. I would say that you are a bit more familiar with the the animals of the planets, like the banthas and dewbacks on Tatooine and their abilities to survive the desert scapes. There are some very dark sidey creatures on Korriban that would probably not be the most fun to fight against. There are a multitude of different creatures on Kashyyyk. Minox, basically giant space vampire bats. Excuse me.
Guys.
Tax, which are primates. Kinrath, giant spiders that are poisonous. Manaan, of course, is just basically a giant aquarium for you. There's all sorts of aquatic creatures, including the Selkath themselves.
That means a seafood buffet.
Basically.
Technically, Juvia doesn't care wherever we go. She can speak Wookiee. So that is a plus. On Tatooine there is a fighter pit that she is very frequent at. 5th year champion. Thank you very much. She's actually a champion on 3 reigning fighter pits in 3 different planets. Thank you very much.
Yep, so...
But she doesn't care.
But you at least have that knowledge under your belt, so you're not going in blind. Zeeg, however, you're just... fudge. Where can you get fudge?
He's still trying to find a snack in his robes, even though he's never actually kept food in his robes. He's forgotten that.
Yeah.
We need to get him little pouches that just strap on or stick to various parts of his outfit that always have little snacks tucked in there.
Little Velcro bags.
Exactly. Like my family does when doing paintballing, apparently.
Apparently. And then, of course, last but not least, our Nat 20. Zeno, you are absolutely familiar with all of these planets. You have been to most, if not all, I leave that up to you, of the planets, or if you haven't been there, you have extensive knowledge of it. With your Nat 20, you know that you're pretty certain that if the star map that you're looking for on Tatooine probably is in the desert, and you would be able to navigate through dealing with the sand people that are out in the desert, stuff like that. You feel pretty confident about that. Everything else
Right.
it'd be a little harder to know where these maps are hidden. But at least, a desert is pretty generic to find things. Um, you probably could easily retrace Revan's steps on Tatooine just because it's not. There are cities and towns and stuff around, but there's not a whole lot in between, so it's pretty easy to kind of connect the dots. Like, you feel very confident in your navigational abilities and your knowledge of Tatooine that probably would be the easiest starting point for you.
Fair enough. Zeno looks at the others and says, well, Tatooine may be our best bet. It's easy to navigate. The deserts are easy to search. Even the sand people are reasonable if you know how to barter with them.
Oh, yeah. Well, I mean, I'm not going to pry, but I am kind of known on Tatooine for being a fighter. On top of, oh yeah, those cute little sand people. I can speak their language too.
As can I.
Perfect. I think we have a starting point.
Zeke just looks slightly uncomfortable at the idea of being on a desert planet.
Understandable.
Oh,
He does not. He was hoping for Manaan.
oh,
He looks a little crestfallen.
Oh.
He wanted to go swimming.
okay. We'll go to the ocean planet next. Okay, big guy.
He gives a little smile.
Perfect. Well, as you guys have settled on the lovely, wonderful vacation spot that is the planet of Tatooine, where all things
Wait.
Star Wars happen.
Wait. Hey, little heathen, what do you think? She's awfully quiet. Kind of gives me the anxieties.
My suit is adapted for any sort of weather type. I can probably download the language of the strange little things.
There's that ego.
Jawas.
That's what I was waiting for.
However, there was a conversation we must have on the way.
No.
Oh, well, I suppose if you are unabashed that your title has been taken on this planet, then I suppose not.
Say what?
Oh, no, nothing.
Oh no, I don't think I heard you correctly. What in Sam hell are you talking about? My title has been not taken.
When were you here last?
I'll admit it's been a hot minute.
Yes.
Isn't it
suppose
always hot
so.
on Tatooine?
You mean to tell me you little pint-sized heathen took my title?
That depends. What do you go by?
Here, hun, let me show you the airlock.
I can believe in space. I don't think she gestures at her entire armored suit. I don't actually really even breathe that much.
That's fine, you can hang out in space while I go get my title back.
That's kind of a cheap way to do it.
I never said I played fair. Heathen.
Oh. Yeah, you should probably check back at some of those planets a little more often. Good money. She's just checking her nails.
I'm going to kick your ass so hard.
If it is
All over these planets.
Big talk outside arena.
I'll fight you in the arena and kick your ass so hard all over those planets. Thrice.
Finally, I wondered what it would take to get you to fight me.
I thought we were looking for maps.
Oh, we are, big guy, but we're making a pit stop so I can kick this heathen's ass.
Yeah, maybe someone there knows where a map is.
Enoch's just watching like a raised eyebrow. Hard to tell if he's amused or not.
I mean, Epsilon's love language is, in fact, fighting, so this does not surprise me. Perfect. Well, fortunately, you do have some time to prepare. So, Zeke can make sure that he attains
Suitable
lotion.
moisture level.
Yeah, because God knows
Oh,
you're
I was gonna say
need
a
it.
snack.
Also a snack. Also snack. That's very
He's
important.
gotta get pockets for his
He needs his snack pockets. I mean, it would be pretty important to have snackos at the ready while venturing into the desert. So that's actually a useful thing. I also apologize in advance. My cat hound is chewing on a bone. So any crunching that you hear, I am so sorry. He had to have his input in the game, apparently.
That's okay. I don't know if my mic will pick it up, but my cat is snoring.
Oh,
That's cute. He hasn't
I have
obtained the
videos I'll post
squeaky.
later.
I love that. He hasn't obtained the squeaky yet, so far, this game has not been graced by his squeaky, but, sometimes a cat hound gotta have a bone. But, eventually you communicate with the pilots of the Unity Station and, navigate away from Nar Shaddaa to blip over to the wonderful planet Tatooine.
it's a wonderful place. What are you talking about?
It's fantastic. Love it there. 10 out of 10 vacation spot.
Yeah.
Everyone wants to go to Tatooine. But you guys do get there effectively. The crew of the Unity Station, of course, assist you to making sure that you guys have the appropriate necessary hydration and food while you're down there as needed. And of course, you guys make your way to get down there via shuttle, personal transports. I leave that up to you guys how you get down there, but generally, collectively, you get down there. Specifically to the bustling major hub that is the city of Anchorhead. It is a very predominantly busy city. It's got an area for swoop track racing, gambling, everything, as is expected on Nar Shaddaa. Or, not Nar Shaddaa, Tatooine. Interchangeable, I guess, just different climates. But as you arrive, you guys are flagged by some of the crew members of the Unity Station that they have already communicated ahead and designated a set hangar for you all. And it is a massive hangar to accommodate for your personal crafts to go there. But it is also heavily guarded for obvious reasons. Enoch, you have a very vague feeling that the security in question was at the hands of your master. Probably because of the nefarious, the very, very nefarious huts that run Tatooine. It's probably at his behest. But you do arrive as you are exiting your personal crafts to go into the hangar. You guys are just hit with this hot, dry air. Zeke, it is so uncomfortable for you. it's excruciatingly uncomfortable. Like you can feel like your skin kind of tense and tighten up a little bit.
Just as a little added flavor note, as Zeke gets warm, he doesn't really sweat, but his skin kind of takes on the sheen. You know, like when you see like motor oil on a puddle, and you get that sort of like muddy rainbow effect. That's kind of what his skin looks like right now.
Lovely.
Cut pretty.
It is kind of pretty.
Yep. The rest of you, of course, even if you are unaffected because of suit, because you are more machine than woman, you still feel the effects of the heat. You are aware of the dryness level of the planet. You are aware of the heat. Like, uh, it would be the equivalency of stepping on into the Sahara Desert at high noon. It's excruciatingly hot. But the denizens of
Epsilon's helmet will like specifically. Usually, how she just has her like from the nose down mask. Her helmet will fully engage and encase her head, like including her hair. She's kind of muttering about how bad this is for her hair.
it is terrible for her hair. Her hair will hate her for this.
Yeah, she fully engages her entire helmet.
Understandable. I feel that on a personal level. Uh, but of course, the denizens who live here are perfectly familiar with this. This is nothing for them. Um, a lot of the species who do have hair, their hair is definitely dry. That just is simply how it is. Keeping hydrated naturally is way more effective and important than keeping your hair pretty. But you guys kind of make your way through the hangar. You've already been flagged as cleared and enter into the massive cityscape that is Anchorhead. There are all sorts of buildings, building shapes, heights, widths. All of them are pretty much that like dry clay color. Uh, there's a few things of actual color, but they're usually like dark browns, reds, that kind of thing. Um, those those of you who do recall your lore of the planet, not you, Zieg, sorry. You do know that this is because of the massive amounts of sandstorms that happen. There's no point to applying any applicable paints. Usually, the dark browns and reds are, you know, sand blown fabrics or rust from the sandstorms. So that's why everything is that sand or clay color and texture because of the sandstorms. But you are now officially there. You are within the cityscape and may begin your searching of the city to try to find any information about where a star map might be.
Awesome.
Well, should I start pulling on my contacts, or do you have to duke it out in the arena first?
It doesn't matter because I also have contacts here. I mean, that's up to you, partner.
I can also check in with any sort of very public standing as well from all official channels. I'm sure they would have kept a record on someone so prominent having been in the area.
Well, by your leave, then.
All right, who wants to find their contact first?
I say we fight for it. Rock, paper, punch.
I am all familiar with rock, plasma grenade, lightning.
Tomato, tomato, heathen.
I appear to, how you say, touched a nerve.
Oh no, darling. But I'm about to touch your fucking face. With my fist.
I'm glad you clarified that it was with your fist and not your own face, because that would have been a
Juvia
whole
had a
other
moment. Juvia had a moment where she's like, "Wait, this one's dirty," so she's gotta like clarify.
Yep,
Even
so I
Zeke
stopped
was a little bit
listening.
like, what?
Yeah, so I stopped listening after you said face. Into feelings. Oh no, there's sand in my helmet. The receptors. Hearing. Fucking planet. Merde.
Enoch, I vote we leave her here. She seems to like it here.
Unfortunately, we require her on the other planets as well.
Do we?
I
She hits
mean,
pretty hard and can tank a lot. And it's always nice to have extra
That's
people
what she
between me
said.
and sure.
Enoch. Enoch has questions and concerns.
This is probably the most unconventional group of people he's ever had to work with.
That is a way to put it. That is a way to put it. I mean, yeah, if you guys want to Rochambeau for who gets to go first, by all means. Hell, the rest of the party can place bets if they want.
Can Juvia make a seduction roll?
You know what? Why not? It's been a while since we had to do a scarousal check.
What was that again?
Charisma base, I think.
Persuasion? I guess?
Okay.
I think it was persuasion is
We'll
what we
see.
went with.
So,
Can you seduce the heathen? That is the question.
it's doing pretty good so far.
I mean, that's a 22. That's pretty seductive.
I don't even know how Juvia would seduce. She's not good at it. She just gets high rolls.
I listen, the magic of the scarousal is deep for Julia. I got nothing. Hell, she even got Zeke Twitter pated, like, and she just exists.
She just went to the
To be fair, she picked Zeke up, which is impressive.
so good at this seduction thing, and she doesn't even know how she's doing it.
She's just naturally apparently seductive. That's great. I love it. But yeah, Epsilon, you feel things about Juvia. I don't know
This
how
was
else
not
to-
new.
You're a little bit distracted from the will to fight with another total feeling. And you're like, oh, this is the scarousal.
I mean, they're pretty mutually exclusive for her, so like,
Pretty much.
it's one of those like the more turned on she gets, the more she wants to fight to get it out. which makes her more turned on. So it's kind of a vicious cycle.
It's not the most healthy thing in the world either, but you know.
It's really not. No, it's really bad.
That's why she's my trauma bean.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, with that, you do kind of feel like you want to like fight her for this, but also like you were a little like taken aback because you weren't expecting that. You were expecting actual fight. Now you're like, wait, are we fighting or are we fighting? Clarification needed.
Do you understand the extent of what you are offering?
No,
Are you clear with your implications?
no.
Because I am about to explain.
Did I win?
Not yet.
I love the idea of Juvia literally not knowing that she is that charming and she is just oblivious.
She's really bad at romance stuff. She's just ridiculous. I don't know how I keep getting like really good like seduction roles.
I don't know, but I love
I'm like
that
really
it's become
proud
a
of
thing.
this.
I'm here for it. I love that it's become a thing. That makes me happy. I love when random things happen and it becomes part of the game. Uh, while this argument, I don't know if it's even technically an argument, between these two are going on, what are the rest of you three doing? Other than watching.
Yeah, I don't know. Zeno's just kind of watching with a disconnected sort of disapproval.
I was curious how he would feel about that. I felt he would feel a sort of way.
Yeah, for sure.
What's...
Enoch's trying to decide where he wants to go. He's like, I don't know if I want to watch this couple fight, but
He's like, I'm here on a mission. I'm gonna let you two just have your 5 minutes alone. It's fine.
Whoa. Juvia's like, I won this. So she's like, I want to go, in the great words of someone far, far away, to the bar.
I'm just curious.
Zeke is just
Oh, go ahead.
good. Zeke is just looking around, really interested. He's never been anywhere really like Tatooine, given that he's amphibian and likes the water. He doesn't typically go to desert worlds, so he's just kind of got that sort of like wide-eyed look of like when you're somewhere you've never been before. He's just looking around, seeing what he sees.
I see the beach, but where's the water?
I mean, yeah, not wrong. I love it. Yeah, so since you did disorient Epsilon from focusing on finding her contacts, Juvia, you do know that there are some well-known gambling dens that you have spent some time in making money just for lulz. Probably would be a good place to start for trying to find some sort of information, because generally those kind of people, if you pay the right price, they'll tell you everything.
and we certainly do have a large sum available to us.
It is true. You do have that at your disposal. Excuse me. So you know that that's the area of contacts for you, Juvia, is the kind of gambler's den. Epsilon, I I would say for you, your contacts are a little less eager to help in that way, more of they know of you or have experienced you before and are more likely to just give you information because they've seen what you are capable of doing and they want none of it. So they are probably some of the denizens that kind of lurk in the dark alleyways, places where any measure of authority might not see, and would be way more inclined to just give you whatever you want so that you don't hurt them.
There's a lot of really dramatic, like, back alley slamming people against the wall with my hand, like, right next to their head kind of dealing. Getting real close to their face, that kind of deal.
Yep.
Someone goes to take the trash out, and it's like, why are there 3 new holes in this wall?
Yeah, basically. So yeah, your contacts are a bit more of the violently scared type, rather than the charming, personable, bullshittery type. Zeno, I would say, to summarize your contacts, they are much more willing to help you, not because of any like financial motivation, but much more of a personal motivation. I want to say almost loyalty, but it's not really like loyalty. It's more of a, you assisted them in some way, shape, or form, so they're more eager to help you, to pay you back.
There's a mutual respect between my contacts and I.
That's the word I was looking for. I couldn't think of it. But those are the avenues for you guys to explore. You are welcome to do it all collectively as a group, hitting all of them. You can split. It's really up to you guys how you want to navigate.
Whose contacts are most likely to not be truthful to the person they're talking to?
Of the contacts, they all have. Obviously, Zeno's would be the most truthful, because of the history. Epsilon's is kind of a like hit or miss. Either they'll be extremely truthful, or they'll just say whatever you want to hear to get you away from them. Juvia's is also a bit of a hit or miss. If you upset them in any way, they will lie to you. If you cheat them or otherwise cause them to lose money, they're not going to be helpful. But if the fate of the die or the cards are in your favor and you're motivating them financially, they might be a bit more inclined to tell the truth. That one is way more on like a luck based. It's a hard 50-50 with no real linear path of whether they'll tell you the truth or not. Epsilon's at least is a bit more, depending upon how you interact, it could go either way. But of the 3 contact types, Zeno's is the most reliable because of that level of respect.
Okay. Zeke is going to go with Juvia then, if Juvia goes to talk to their contacts, specifically because he does have some abilities to pick up on people's emotions, so he might be able to tell if the contacts are being truthful about their information.
That's fair.
That, and he's still fairly impressed that she was able to pick him up.
I was waiting for that part.
Zeke is Juvia little buddy.
Yep.
Little is not the right word for that.
Quotation little.
He's like Little John.
Oh my god, yes, he is. Does that make Juvia
Epsilon
Robin Hood?
like, yeah. Epsilon would like to volunteer Enoch to come with her.
Wow, okay. Sorry, Enoch, you got voluntold apparently.
He just like raises an eyebrow and he's like, okay, lead the way.
We're
He
splitting the
figures
party then.
like he's the other scariest person here, so this will work well for my plan.
Oh god, okay. You know, honestly, in this case, splitting the party actually wouldn't be a bad idea, because I'm a little concerned about how the rest of you guys would treat Zeno's contacts. So,
Wow.
We want to keep those relations.
not you. Juvia, I'm not scared of. I'm not at all worried about Juvia, because Juvia has mom energy, so she'd be fine.
It is not her fault that she's really charming.
Barely. I love it. The accidental charismatic one of the group. So we'll go ahead and go kind of down the line.
It's a disease.
It's a disease. I caught the charisma. Well, we'll go down the line and see what things happen. I'll leave Zeno for last just because I feel like after dealing with Epsilon and Enoch, that'll be a refresher. So that's where we'll start. We will start with Epsilon and Enoch for some damn reason. Navigating the dark alleyways of Anchorhead to try to find any familiar faces for Epsilon to have a chat with.
Delightful chat.
It's just a wonderful chat. Epsilon, why don't you go ahead and roll me a perception to see if you can find any familiar face. Enoch, you can also roll a perception to see if anybody seems to be pissing their pants with Epsilon nearby.
I am really distracted by Juvia's comments still. I'm still processing that.
You really are.
I'm a little clam blocked right now, so that's really distracting.
Not the
Well,
clam
I
block.
rolled an 8, so
Oh no! Wow. Okay.
Enoch has picked up on Epsilon just being really distracted, and so now he's like, well, what am I supposed to be distracted with?
I mean, he does usually really feel Epsilon, so now he's like, this is not. Go back to screaming. This is somehow worse.
Please go back to
I
force
should note
feeding.
Enoch is kind of walking in a way to try and like present himself as more like a subordinate or just like a lackey to Epsilon, trying to like not give away what he actually is.
I
He's got
mean,
sort of a more submissive posture as he's following behind her.
it kind of works with the fact that you're distracted. Like, this level of screaming from Epsilon is not the screaming you want. You prefer the original screaming.
He's like, what the fuck is going on with you? What is this? What happened?
What the fuck is your
Look,
problem?
man, I don't know what the female version of Blue Balls is, but
Oh, wait! I have advantage on perception checks. Hold on. Let me re-roll that.
Enoch might save the day.
Maybe.
I'm gonna laugh if it's a nat one.
I know,
It
right?
was an 8, so 8 plus 7 is what? 4?
15.
15. There you go. I got a
Cool.
15.
That's so much better, thank you. Because, God, that was about to be difficult.
kind of shook his head to clear it for a minute.
Right?
Just took him a second to kind of attune to a very different kind of screaming.
Exactly.
Fortunately, as you kind of like shake that off and Epsilon's like stuck in her little screaming pit that you really would like to put a bubble around, Enoch, you're kind of keeping an eye out as you're watching, you know, the various denizens. Some don't really react other than like just looking at you guys. But with that 15, you do notice there seems to be a Twi'lek that kind of shrinks back into another alleyway, like he's trying to.
Favorite.
You're welcome. Like he's trying to press back against a wall. You would notice that there is a bit of his leku that seems to be missing, as if it was cut off. The wound seems to be cauterized in a way that is familiar for you. And you definitely could tell that he is absolutely petrified of Epsilon. Like, he doesn't even care about you. It's Epsilon he's hiding from.
He'll give like he'll reach through with the force because he doesn't want to physically touch her just in case, and he'll give her like a little force poke to be like, hey, hey, look back here. It's like a little tap on the shoulder.
Just a little force tap, tap, tap.
One of those like didn't really realize she's out, and then realized.
Oh wow, that was really muffled.
Yeah, sorry.
It's that damn communicator.
My head.
Oh no.
Technical difficulties.
Please stand by.
Yeah, Epsilon's still like trying to remember what she's here for. It's fine. She's distracted.
I don't actually know where the mic on my left is.
It is somewhere.
Like on the cord somewhere, maybe, or.
No, it's a laptop, so it's all intricated.
Aha! That is so much better. Holy shit.
Yeah.
That was like a quick turnaround. Holy crap.
I'm gonna assume it's just proximal, and it was thinking I was background noise because I wasn't quite close enough because I sat up.
That's probably it.
Probably. Technology's great.
But yeah, she kind of like shakes her head, not having realized how distracted she was, and then acting like she wasn't distracted at all.
Once he has her attention, Enoch will kind of like nod in the direction like he saw the Twi'lek.
She will take a look in that direction. Trying to see, does she recognize him like right away, kind of deal, or?
Go ahead and roll me another perception. This time you will get advantage because Enoch drew your attention to it. Thank God for that. Yeah,
Right.
you 100% recognize this Twi'lek. This Twi'lek is Zariel. You have had dealings with him in the past. He was a merchant. In particular, he cheated you on a sale and sold you some faulty lightsaber parts. Hence why a piece of his leku is missing.
He will like very smoothly turn on her heel and go like straight for him. She's not subtly approaching or like doing any kind of like casual I'm gonna walk by you and notion that we're gonna have a conversation or something. She is straight for him, like, hello.
Just surprise, motherfucker.
Just the one I wanted to see.
Pretty much. He seemed to have been very confident that you were distracted and not going to see him, and probably like while he was pressed up against the wall hiding, I use that very loosely, was not aware of Enoch being your wingman. So as you suddenly, like, you get to where you're around the corner, you see this Twi'lek standing there, like, he's pressed back up against the wall. Like, his face, if he could pale, his face would absolutely pale. And you just see, like, horror cross his face before he really quickly, like, mentally stumbles and is really quick to, like, try to be, like, this charming, easygoing, you know, salesman bullshit that he's tried before, but he's trying to save face. and is like quickly like shuffling, like he was intentionally leaning against the wall, just chilling, not almost pissing his pants. And as soon as you are like right there, and he's kind of recovered, quote unquote, and made himself appear to be this more easygoing guy, he just kind of gives this smile. Like it's very much a forced, like I'm absolutely terrified smile. Before he goes, "Hey, Epsilon, long time no see. How you doing?"
She just like goes up beside him and or like casually leans up against, like she puts her arm up against the wall and takes a lean and kind of does that thing where you like you're standing and you like kind of cross the one leg behind the other, so like it's your toes on the ground kind of deal. Sort of tapping her foot on the sand. Kind of like gives a moment for Enoch to kind of take whatever way he wants to do. As you know, one of those like, you know, she's got muscle, she's got a friend, she's gonna let him posture however that may be. She's assuming Enoch knows to do that. Like,
Yeah,
we're doing a
standing.
thing.
He's standing so he can cut off escape in the other direction. He's got like his arms crossed. He's
Yeah.
doing that formidable posture that bodyguards always do.
Perfect. Yeah, that's exactly what she was expecting. And she'll put her helmet back so that it's just the normal like from nose down mask. As her eyes kind of flicker through a few colors. And I mean, obviously you can't see her smiling, but she's got the rest of her is always so expressive. You can usually tell what her expressions are, despite being unable to see them. And she's got that sadistic, like, literally, oh hello, motherfucker.
as expected.
It has been a minute, no? How is business?
You see him like pause for a little bit, and you can tell that obviously business has not been good for him. I mean, he's in the alleyways, but you expect that, like, oh, you know, it's fine thing. But there was that hesitation of like, do I bullshit my way through this or do I not? Before he just kind of like decides to go the blasé route and just kind of like scoffs and shrugs his shoulder, like it's no big. It's like, oh, just you know, it's normal everyday business. Like you can just hear his voice cracking. He's absolutely terrified of you.
That's so. So that must mean you are in a, how you say, cooperative mood then. I am glad to have found you well.
Yeah, it's sure. But what you in the market for?
We, my friend here, I have made some very unique associates and connections lately, which of course require unique and special resources and information. And I just thought, you know, if we're going to start on this desert shithole, I'd know just it why I like to help her.
Yeah, you know, information's my game. Whatever I can do to help you. Like you get the feel he's like, I'll give you whatever you want, just don't hurt me again.
We are looking for... What is a good way to explain this? It is rather strange. Particular either locations that a very interesting individual has been to, or items that they have interacted with.
You see, like, despite his fear of you, like, like, now you've got his attention and curiosity. He kind of glances at Enoch for a moment as if finally, like, connecting that there's more than just you there. Before looking back to you, and he goes, sure. Who's the individual?
I'm sure you have heard of them, given your vast multitude of connections and knowledge. I mean, after all, I don't just come to any Twi'lek for information. But we are on the trail of a certain Revan and her adventures. Things that are more than the common HoloNet drivel.
That definitely, like, mentally trips him. Like, obviously he knows shit. Knows shit he probably shouldn't know, and has probably gotten him into trouble several times. But hearing that name does make him trip, and it takes him a little bit to kind of respond. And it's more of a, he wasn't expecting that name. He was expecting anybody else. So that name in particular just kind of short circuits him before the gears start turning again, and you can see he's actually, like, looking for information, what he knows.
He like revels in that moment of, like, borking.
you done borked his brain for a bit.
She doesn't get to do that very often. That's usually an intelligence thing. So when she wasn't with the violence, she likes that. It's a rare moment for her.
It is. It stroked your ego. But yeah,
that's so cute.
but he does eventually kind of, like, catch back up and remember that he, while he's processing the information, that he's got to, verbalize it. And he just kind of stammers a little bit as the gears continue to work before he just kind of clears his throat and goes, like, the Revan. Okay. Well, I know that she went out to the desert and was, like, real friendly with this group of sand people. Don't recommend. They're not really nice to the rest of us. And, like, he's still, like, hardcore churning his gears trying to get answers for you. Like, his very life depends on it. And eventually goes, I did hear that she was hunting a crate dragon. Which, I mean, if you're a really famous, like, Jedi and can just go whoosh and, that'd be great. And, like, you can tell he's just blurting at this point words. Just, like, getting any bit of information he has, whether it's relevant or not, just completely on the table.
She's just kind of, like, nodding along and very casually looking at her nails and occasionally back at him, like she's listening. This is good. Keep talking. That's why you're alive.
And he'll kind of continue and say, I don't know if she actually did kill the crate dragon or if she just went to its cave, but there were rumors that she was helping the sand people with it, and then he kind of pauses when he realizes that his rambling isn't helping. And he goes, I probably should just give you the location, huh?
That is much more helpful than describing a nomadic tribe in a desert of the desert planet. She's, like, giving him that like, forced customer service voice that he knows is like, I'm on the edge of my patience.
He just kind of, like, goes, right. And immediately pulls out his data pad, and he's like, you could see with your close proximity of him, he's pulling up, like, every map that he has of the desert before he finds one. And he just kind of, like, hands you the data pad. it's assumed that it's for you to download it, but he just kind of like hands it to you, and you can see this location. It's obviously a fair ways away, but it's at least a general idea.
Enoch is like quick, like looking over the map and committing it to memory for his future.
Yeah, she like takes the data pad and she's downloading. Basically, as long as it is close enough to her, she's downloading everything on it. Like, if he's got anything else on there besides just what he pulled up, she's downloading it, and then she passes it to Enoch so that he can, quote unquote, take a look because you can't download it into your brain like I can.
I just committed to memory.
There's a lot of information that you gleaned off of the datapad, up to and including the fact that the Hutts actually kind of have a bounty out for him in the sum of 50,000 credits because he swindled them in a swoop track race and fudged the numbers. That might be why he's in the alleyways right now.
I don't think the guy makes good life decisions.
No.
Really, he got into it with me. That really should be the start and end of that.
Yeah.
Well, good thing that Juvia is not there because Juvia was a bounty hunter.
So she'll, yeah, once that's all settled, she'll hand him back the data pad and just sort of like sighs softly now that okay, now that's over. Now there are, let's just see, two more things. One, what do you know of this cult that's been running around too?
It takes him a little bit because of the shift of gears before he he connects the dots of what you mean because of the whisper of the name, and he goes, the Cult of Isaidus? You want to run in with them?
Well, that is putting it lightly, but we.
There's the bad news, like real bad news, like people have gone missing. Bad news.
Oh. Well, doesn't that make them far more fun? She kind of like tucks some of her hair behind her ear. She kind of faces him more. Like she's giving him more attention physically. Like, oh, do go on.
That he is visibly uncomfortable because he does not like your attention on him, with good reason.
Yeah, no, fair.
And he continues like again in this way of I need to hurry up and give the information because they've been like kidnapping people or hiring people or just killing people, particularly scientists. There were some archaeologists that were like here studying crate dragon fossils, and well, they're not here anymore after the cult came through. The Hutts seem to like them a lot.
Yes, they do seem to have a penchant for the greedy and simple-minded. And where might they be? Or am I going to have to go knocking on the Hutt's door for two reasons?
Again, if he could actually go pale, he would go pale. No need to bother the Hutts with this. This is fine. I hear they're kind of lurking around in the desert, looking at a crate dragon burial ground. For some reason, I can give you the location.
That would be wonderful. The more locations you give me, the vaguer the location I give the Hutt for you.
And again, he fumbles with his data pad before just offering you the exact location of the Great Dragon Burial Ground.
Perfect. You have been surprisingly cooperative today. I suppose you were not lying when you said business was, decent. Speaking of which, I suppose the second thing I wanted to talk to you about is not your pearl decisions that got you such a pretty penny with the hut. And instead, I think I will give you opportunity to make money. Found anything interesting physically lately?
You are definitely like speaking to his core at that point. As afraid of you as he is, he's not gonna pass up the opportunity to make money. And he goes, well, I might have pilfered some things that the cult members left behind. It looked worth something, so figured, business is booming. I might as well reach out and branch out my store inventory.
I would have expected nothing less. And just what did you come across?
There were some, lightsaber parts that apparently were from some Sith person or another. I didn't really listen to them. Of course, I've got med packs. I've got stims. I've got just the basics. The basics.
I would imagine that these. She gets like a very. Her body language and tone change dramatically. He's like, it was one of those like he said something. I suppose you have validated these parts.
I have learned my lesson. I promise you, these are absolutely perfectly validated. I will never make that mistake again.
If that is true, and I personally think you owe me for not having a more severe punishment for such a thing, and would make a kind gesture in good future business to let me take a look at these parts then. I do enjoy my sabers. And future investments are always good for such a classy businessman as yourself.
Absolutely. I'll even offer you a discount, 75% off. Like, just from a friend to a friend.
Now see, this is why, Zeliel, my dear, I only took one of your little tentacle thingies.
Again, if he could pale, he would be pale. And he will produce several parts. There are various color crystals. There's a cyan one. There's this like red core with a black outline. Like, these are some very delightfully exotic crystals that you would very much appreciate. Varying colors, color combinations. There's a couple of different actual parts that could modify and improve the attack power. There's all sorts of, and they're like legitimate stuff. He did in fact learn his lesson.
Noise. Yeah, she's definitely very interested in quite honestly all of it. She's got that level of thought of like, I wonder if I could just take everything.
I mean, you probably could. Like, at this point, like, one, he'll make some sort of money off of it. He's fine, and he gets away with his life. He'll take it. Like, He ain't gonna mess around.
So, oh, I am impressed. That is not an easy feat. Kind of like glances back at Enoch, almost kind of like a. She's kind of giving him that look. And again, it is another reason why she brought Enoch, because of him being a Sith and kind of knowing how they do the things. She's giving him that kind of look of like, do we take the stuff and let him live? Like, has he? You think he's earned his life?
Enoch,
You can tell he's not actually probably not actually considering killing him on the spot, but she's doing a bit.
Enoch kind of looks like he's really hardcore thinking about it for a moment before he gives it a little nod, like, yeah, sure.
Okay.
He's doing the whole silent bodyguard thing.
Perfect.
That
Very
doesn't
well.
scare me.
And kind of looks, and she'll look back at him, be like, I would be happy to take these off your hands and put in a good word. Now what is that place, my dear little talkative Twi'lek?
You can tell, like, he wants to say a higher amount, but he values his life a little bit more. And he goes, for this, let's just call it 250 and call it good.
She gives another one of the just like quiet glances to Enoch.
He thinks for a moment, and then he's just kind of makes a motion of like lower the price. Still just like hardcore staring at this guy with his creepy eyes.
He sees that and like immediately, without even giving Epsilon a chance to say something, how about 150?
A small nod.
She turns and she's switched back to that more relaxed, happier body language, like giving him a lot of physical attention now. She kind of turns around on her heel to face him, and he can tell there's a smile behind her mask. She's pleased again. That sounds magnifique. And naturally, so long as there are not any unforeseen errors. It's a shame I did not run into you today, isn't it? I do so enjoy seeing my favorite Twi'lek, but I suppose you must have been off getting a shipment somewhere off planet today.
Yeah, I mean, business is booming.
Let us hope it continues as such. And it was a pleasure not doing business with you.
Absolute pleasure. He's just like glancing like around, like, can I go? Like, there's that distinct energy of, can I run away now?
She just kind of, after their transaction, she gives him the credits and takes her new toys, and then just kind of gives him that wink. It's like a wink and an up, like that up nod. Of like, all right, we done.
And immediately he bolts. He is gone. And Enoch and Epsilon, you may select upgrades for your lightsabers, either in the form of crystals, actual modifications, because they do exist, that you may figure out what you want at another point in time. But you came away with some lightsaber mods. There's plenty to go around, so you could share with the other lightsaber users. And you got some pretty good information. So that was successful for you guys.
Epsilon seems absolutely pleased as punch and is like puts her full helmet back on and basically is like skipping out of the alley while she's kind of rummaging through the bag. Be like, all right, we can go back to our friends. And she is sure that not only was she the first one successful, but she was the most successful.
It's
He is
a pity we
100%
didn't make this other
sure.
Leku match the first one.
I know, right?
Excuse me.
Perfect.
I'm looking at from above.
Alrighty. So while that was going on, and Epsilon and Enoch
I
are,
to arouse you.
as Epsilon and Enoch are kind of going over their spoils and absorbing the information they got, we will go to Juvia and Zeeg. While that was going on, you guys made your way to the Gambler's Den. Again, Juvia, you know that this is the spot for Sabak, for Pazak. It's everything. Definitely a good place to, if you're bullshitting, your way through things, you could get some information. Or you could just get credits. Anything happens.
Wow. See, Juvia does not bullshit. Thank you very much. That's Siri.
No, I'm just
Siri
throwing that
is
out
all
there.
bullshit.
I'm just saying, just generally speaking, if you're into bullshitting, this is the place. Like, you've seen it happen. Otherwise, it's a good place to, exchange credits for money or earn credits, depending upon how the luck favors you.
All right, big guy. There's a couple of rules. Okay. Before we go and venture on, don't look anybody in the eye, okay?
He just kind of nods.
Okay. That's the first rule. Because they'll try to get you to come and play. And these guys over here, they're really good at these games. Like really good. So that's the first rule. Second rule, let me talk to them, okay?
Okay. He just
Okay.
kind of shrugs.
But if need be, well, I'll give you a signal and then you like just punch them in the face, okay?
What's the signal?
That's a good question. If I raise my hand at all,
Which one?
that's when you punch them in the face. Oh gosh, yeah, that's right. My uppermost right hand.
You see him kind of hold his hands up and make the two L's for a second. He's trying to figure out which one is his right.
I love Zeke
Okay.
so much.
Okay, let's high five. High five. High five. Okay, that hand.
And he high fived
See,
with
we
his
like-
left.
No, other hand. Other hand, sweetheart.
Oh, okay.
There we go. That hand. That hand. It goes across. See, we made like a little. Yeah. Okay. Anyway. Okay. Ready?
Yep.
And Juvia's like, this is gonna be such a shit show. But at least she doesn't have the little heathen with her. So.
The heathen is off doing heathen stuff, so there's that at least.
Because Juvia cannot imagine. She's like, you know what? That's Enoch's problem, not hers.
Oh, I love it. Okay, you guys make your way in, and I mean, you guys get looks, but it's more, it's less of like you guys looking suspicious and more of like you came in, but also people are looking at Zeeg like, damn, he big. But that's generally kind of the reception you guys get. It's someone came in holy shit, he's huge. Anyway, back to the game. It's a pretty chill environment for the most part. Juvia, as you are kind of looking around, you know, you recognize some of the faces. They're proficient in, you know, being here, kind of gambling, and in exchange of like a win, you get information type of situation. So, you can pick, you know, whatever game that you want to sit down at and kind of play this game of, you know, play a game, get some information.
Juvia's like not a big fan of that. She's more of a fighter. Like she's like, I'd rather just punch everybody here. That's how I know I'd win. Okay, well then she picks the closest table.
Okay.
And sits down.
Z just kind of stands behind her.
Very intimidating. I love it.
He's not trying to be intimidating. He just isn't sure what to do, so he just stands there.
He's just also fucking huge.
But his sort of blank expression makes it look like he might be intimidating. I don't know.
Good job, Z. She gives him a small thumbs up, like.
He gives her a big grin and a really obvious thumbs up right back.
Good job.
Zeke is literally that looks like he could kill you, is a cinnamon roll.
But could still probably kill you.
But could probably kill you. Alright. Juvia, you find yourself sitting across from a younger human. You've seen him before. This was a while ago. He used to work at the fighting pits, not as a fighter, but he would like clean up the blood and stuff.
Oh God. Oh, hi, Mark.
Exactly. And he does recognize you, like, as soon as you sit down. He's kind of a quieter kid. He didn't cause any problems. He's just seen a lot of shit because of the nature of his job, but he probably does this as a less traumatizing way to get money. And he's kind of like taken aback when he sees you. But before he kind of like looks at you and like looks at Zeke, and like you can see him processing that he recognizes you, but he doesn't know what to call you. Like in the fighting ring, you have a name and that's fine, but you're not in the ring. So he's got that like inner turmoil of, do I say her ring name? Do I say her actual name? Like he wants to greet you. He just doesn't know how.
Howdy, Mark. You can call me Juvia the Jubilee. It's fine.
It's just immediate relief of like, oh God, the anxiety went away. And he just gives you a smile and he's like, it's been a bit. Haven't seen you in the pits for a while. Welcome back.
Yeah, been a little busy. Heard my title kind of got swept from under me. Came back to kind of get that title back.
Yeah, this like half machine, half woman thing kind of started wiping the ground. It was really weird. I don't know where the hell she came from.
Clearly from some silly planet. But I digress, Mark. I'm back. I'm gonna get my title. And if this little pint-sized heathen ever shows her face, I'm gonna wipe the arena with it. Literally and figuratively.
I know plenty of people pay to see that. Could make quite a fortune
I'm
off
sure
of that.
they would. But I'm glad business is doing a little better for you. Not so much blood here, I would imagine.
No, couple black eyes on an occasion, but nah, less blood, much less blood.
Black as a pillow top compared to what happens in the fight pits. Am I right?
He just kind of like gives this nod, like there's nothing else to say. It's just yeah, it's fact.
So, I'm here on a little bit of business, and I know you have to play to get any information. So, Mark, what are we playing? And let's play a game.
He will set you up for Pazak, which is basically space blackjack. And so how we'll do this is I'll just have you roll persuasion for your hand to see if you win and get information out of him. And we'll just do this a couple of times to make life easy, because I'm not about to set up a whole thing of blackjack.
This is happening. Can I use Zeke's insightful trait, his head tentacles, to try to pick up on how the other player is feeling and try to sort of indicate to Juvia if he thinks she's got a winning hand or not? Kind of help her cheat a little.
Yeah, absolutely. That'll end up giving her advantage for her persuasion. Because, yeah, of course she needs that. So, the first hand goes out, and as Juvia's looking at her cards, Zeke, you kind of get the feeling he's decently confident in his hand. He's decently confident. Juvia, go ahead and roll that persuasion as your... Oh, Jesus. Okay. Yeah, you immediately, start off with, a 20 in your hand. And as you guys kind of lay it down, he has a 19. So that's a win on your part. Which means you can ask him one question.
All right, Mark. So I'm looking for somebody or remnants of somebody by the name of Revan. Anything you've heard about Revan in these parts?
I know that she was here like ages ago looking for something. Rumor had it she took down a crate dragon, but nobody really has proof of that.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Play again.
All right. The next hand goes out, and he ain't feeling too confident about this hand, Zeke. he did not get a good hand.
Zeke just gives Juvia another big grin and a way too obvious thumbs up.
Love it. All right, go ahead and roll persuasion again. Oh, Jesus.
Oh, Jesus.
Okay.
I sneezed again, sorry.
You be sneezing a lot and getting a lot of good things. The good news
God.
is that first roll was a nat 20, so you immediately get a blackjack. And you just lay it down. He doesn't even try. He got a 7. Which means because you got a nat 20, you get to ask 2 questions.
Trying to think of give me 2 seconds. I'm trying to word my questions correctly because I know our friend is going to leave soon.
Yep, no worries.
All right. My first question is going to be, where exactly did Revan take down this dragon? Maybe we can get a little insight on where we're going.
Okay. To answer that, Mark will say, it was in the Eastern Dune Sea. There was a cave that the dragon made as his own. That's where she apparently took him down at. The Eastern Dune Sea is literally due east of Anchorhead, where you guys currently are.
Okay. And then my second question is, Cult of Insidious. Have they been around here? Are they near that location?
When you say the Cult of Isaidus' name, he visibly pales.
Isaidus.
You're fine. It's a hard word. But he visibly pales at that, and he nods, and he goes, "They've been hardcore all over, questioning us at the fighting ring. Last I heard, there was a crate dragon burial ground, ancient burial ground, not far from here that they were scoping out and took some archaeologists. I guess they found something in the bones and it intrigued them, but they just stopped reporting in."
Okay. Can we play another round?
Yeah. As for this one, he seems moderately confident. Not nearly as confident as he was in the first one, but he's feeling a lot better after the second hand.
Okay.
So go ahead and okay.
Jesus. I only clicked it once.
I love it. I love that we're having this random sneezing and it's just you though. That cracks me up. Yeah, you end up having a 20 again and he has a 17. So you get to have the final question.
Did the cult that you know of find any, like, what did they find so interesting? Have you heard any word on that, Mark?
Rumor has
Like
it
in the bones?
rumor has it that there is something within the genetic makeup of the crate dragon that is so connected to the Force that they are looking for. The crate dragons produce crate pearls, which have been used for the modification of lightsabers. They're very attuned to the Force, like strongly attuned to the Force creatures, and there's something about their genetic makeup that intrigued the cult, but I don't know the details. They were very secretive.
Okay. All right, Mark. Thanks for your time and thanks for the games. I'll be seeing you at the pits.
Yeah, of course. Hold on. And he pauses and he will send you 2,500 credits. He goes,
Woo!
"That's for winning. I'm glad to see you around again."
Aw. Thanks, Mark. I just wanted to play. It's been so long since I've gotten to, like, stretch my limbs, you know? Besides, I'm just in here in town getting my title back. But you know how it goes. See you around, Tiger.
Take care. And then you guys are free to exit with the information and credits at hand.
As we're walking out, Zeke kind of looks at Juvie and he looks confused for a moment. He just goes, "What is the Cult of Isaidus again?"
I'll explain in a little bit, but here's 1,000 credits. I'll split it with you because you did a wonderful job.
I love it. Perfect. That's fantastic. Ah,
Been saving that one for a while.
that's fantastic. I love it. I I cannot wait to tell the prior crew of the Peachy Keen about the new nickname. They will love it. All right, that's 2 out of the 3. Saving the best for last. No, saving Zeno for last just because, solo. Zeno, there is a farmer outside of Anchorhead that you have assisted before.
All right.
So, he is an older human, probably now in about his 70s, so he's getting up there. And you've come to his aid a few times. You are very connected to him. He's somebody who has told you previously you're always welcome on his farm. As
Right.
you are approaching the farm, you kind of can see him outside. It looks like he's working on some sort of tech. You would assume it's a moisture evaporator just by it being Tatooine. He doesn't
Right.
seem to hear your shuttle coming up, but eventually you get close enough and he kind of looks up and sees you as you park, and he gives a wave and kind of finishes what he's doing before he gets up and goes to meet up with you. And he's got a smile on his face. You can kind of see one of his eyes has got like this milky color. He seems to be losing sight in his left eye. And he clearly seems to not have as fine-tuned hearing as he used to, likely with age.
Of course. What was his name?
His name... if I can freaking speak without phlegm in my throat, give me a second. Okay. Sorry about that. It's really hard to talk when you have phlegm in your throat on a dry planet. His name is Jasper.
All right. Well, Zeno makes his approach very casually, kind of arms wide open, as if it's good to see him. Jasper, how you been?
Zeno. I thought I'd see you again.
Yeah,
Doing all right.
Make my rounds.
Damn moisture vapors on Fritz again. What brings you here?
Oh, well, I wish I could say I was here to help you with your problem, but actually, I'm working with a new crew right now, and we've been looking for someone that's been to Tatooine sometime in the past, and I don't know, I think they probably got noticed, so we're wondering if anyone knows anything about them. Ever heard of Revan?
He kind of pauses for a moment, kind of like... It's that familiar look of he wasn't expecting that name. But he is older, he's been around for a while, and he just kind of nods and he goes, I do. She came through here when I was a kid. What you looking for her for?
Well, as you know, sometimes I can't always share all the details of what I do, but the short version is that she may have left something here for us to find, and it's rather important for the sake of unity that we find it.
He gives an understanding nod, and he goes, "Well, I know you can't tell me much, but yeah, she was here a couple of times. Hell, I know you know the stories, the Starforge when she went all dark side and all that shit, but whatever you're looking for, I'll do what I can to help you."
Do you know where she went while she was here? Where she may have visited? Anywhere she might have spent a significant amount of time?
No, when she was here, she went to this old crate dragon cave. Uh, she was helping a hunter at the time take him down, and I guess she found something there. It's in the eastern Dune Sea. She spent time there, and rumor had it that's where a map was, but nobody's gone back since. Especially since a new, younger crate dragon moved in and took over after the old one was killed, but
You know, I've always liked our rapport, Jasper. It feels like you start answering questions as they come into my mind. But, well, that was more helpful than you can possibly know. On another note, you haven't heard any rumblings of a cult lately, have you?
he kind of has this like weathered face. I mean, he's been around, he's seen quite a bit. And he goes, "Yeah, that Cult of Isaidus. Sneaky little bastards. They've been
So you've...
darkening doorsteps for a little bit now. Got tangled up in them, I see."
Well, you know, they are troublesome, and we like to keep trouble to a minimum. Have you had any personal run-ins with them?
Unfortunately, a lot of us older folk who were here when Revan was here got to have a little chit chat with him on a few occasions. He kind of like vaguely gestures to his eye. He goes, "Didn't like some of my answers, so thought we should see a little better eye to eye, but they ain't bothered me since."
What did they want?
They wanted to know where Revan was and what the hell she had done here.
So we're just chasing their heels, I guess.
Well, would have worked if they went in the right direction in the desert. And he just gives you the little old man impish grin.
So they may still be out there searching then.
I may have, in my old age, forgotten it was the eastern Dune Sea and not the western Dune Sea.
Well, that's very much appreciated. Whatever trouble they're trying to stir up, it's only going to get worse if they can track down what Revan hid.
Well, they also seemed real interested in the crate dragons.
Oh, really?
Something about hunting down force-sensitive creatures. I don't know what they were up to, but I know when Isaidus was lurking in the galaxy, he was up to some disturbing shit. Trying to take a force-sentient plant and create a hybrid army. I don't want to know what they'd want to do with a crate dragon DNA, but it ain't good.
You're not wrong there. That is troubling, to say the least. Well, Jasper, I hope the rest of the day finds you well. I'll have to return to my companions and let them know the dark details.
Well, if you're following this cult, you keep your head on a swivel. They ain't to be messed with.
They won't even see me coming. It's fine.
He just gives you another of that impish old man grin.
Stay healthy. I want you here next time I need information, okay?
Ah, you know me, ain't nothing could kill me yet.
Well, I hope to never see the day you're proven wrong.
Ah, I'm gonna live forever. Just be a growly old man on his farm, talking about them whippersnappers.
I don't doubt it. With that, Zeno will take his leave.
All right. As you all kind of go to your different spots and then eventually meet back up in a cantina, you guys all just kind of gather, find a quieter booth where you cannot be disturbed, and enjoy some drinks while you guys can go over what you found and share and connect your dots.
What Enoch order?
I don't know, what did he... You know what?
I can't remember what he ordered last time.
I'm going to say that he is going to be extra. And he got a delicious tropical smoothie drink with an umbrella because god damn it, it's hot out.
He usually focuses on water, but I feel like he would get that drink just to like troll the party.
That's mostly the reason why I picked it. I was like, fuck it, this seems like an Enoch thing to do. Just confuse everybody. It's fine. Rainbow frou-frou drinks for all.
It's gotta have the little umbrellas and everything.
Mm-hmm. Exactly, it's perfect.
He has just squeezed himself into a booth seat that's way too small.
Okay, but why do I picture Enoch being between Zeke and the wall kind of thing?
Exactly what I was picturing too.
You are shadowed by Zeke to where if anybody who was not in your party walked past, they would just see this frou-frou drink and assume it was for Zeke until Enoch reaches out for it.
Oh,
See,
Zeke
it's
saw that
perfect.
and ordered one too immediately.
He gets to stay hidden.
So
how
He wants to keep the little umbrella.
it is a beautiful floral pink umbrella.
He's just twirling it in his finger.
I love it.
100% Enoch is squished between him and the wall now because I
Yep.
love that so much.
I'm here for it. But yeah, you guys get your applicable drinks. Whether or not they come with umbrellas is up to you. But you guys may now share your information and make sure you guys are all on the same page of what you have and see what you could piece together.
Enoch's kind of glancing around the table as he's
Well,
sitting.
Enoch, what did you and the little tantrum learn?
He like sets his drink down delicately. We were given the location of a tribe of Tuscan raiders that Revan apparently was dealing with in terms of helping them take down a crate dragon that I suppose was giving them issues. And we also got the location of where the dragon's burial was.
Neat. Me and Big Guy here played a couple of games. I won all the games. And we learned that it's the Eastern Dune Sea is where the cave of the Krayt Dragon that Revan took down is. As well as that Insidious is interested in Krayt dragons, especially their bones, because their genetic makeup is pretty on par with the Force.
Big looks at Juvia. Pretty sure it was ass dust.
Yes, ass face is who we're looking for.
I
Enoch
love this.
just so confused. He's hiding it relatively well, but you can still tell that he's like, what? Okay.
Yes, well, from what I can tell, I suspect that Isaidus intends to use the DNA from Krayt dragons to produce an army with the Starforges. But I don't think they're finding what Revan was after out here because they were set in the absolute wrong direction.
So our next move would be to possibly go east to where Revan was to take one down for a cave. And hopefully find these Tusken Raiders along the way. Also, I just really want a dragon. I'm putting it out there now.
I'm not sure the Unity Station has room for a fully grown Krayt dragon, but you know.
God, but it's cute.
I think that's
It's a
something that may
baby.
need to stay on Tatooine.
But can you imagine? We can get it a little leash. It would be so cute. I already have a name picked out.
You realize how big they get, right?
I mean, so I also want a couple other big things. Really want a big giant space whale.
What's wrong with being big?
Exactly, Enoch. Why are you biggest? Biggest. Why are you against big people
No, I'm the biggest.
or big things?
If I was against big things, I would not have Horizon. That is not the problem.
Exactly. You get a giant horizon, then I want a Krayt dragon. I don't see why I can't have one. And I would take care of it. I mean, I take care of all the things on the ship except Horizon because that's yours. But I take care of most of the things.
They like to dig and burrow.
So does BD. And I still keep that droid around.
Enoch just like shakes his head like, I'm not gonna argue anymore. He just sips his drink. Juvia needs to get like a separate little station that like floats along behind the Unity station that's just for her.
That's fine. She will
Literal like
get us
zoo.
she will get a separate station just for the Krayt dragon, and it'll be pulled by the fucking space whale.
Can you imagine all of that showing up on planet radar? Like, what is this? What's coming into our atmosphere?
Is that a fucking space whale holding a giant craft? What? Everybody would then suddenly like be intimidated by Juvia just because of like her fuckery with animals and creatures. Who needs the heathen to intimidate people when Juvia just shows up with a bunch of fucking creatures?
I'm convinced that Juvia is the equivalency of Snow White.
She is Snow White, okay. See, she could totally get the cute little dragon. It would start off tiny like Derek's. Because that thing's also going to get huge.
Yeah, but he's his own. Thaddeus is his own man.
Lord.
Okay, but Derek got a dragon. Juvia wants a dragon. She'll train it and everything. It'll be so cute. Darian will be like the cutest little thing.
Well, while Juvia is daydreaming about having a dragon, yep, just so that it's kind of summarized to make sure everyone knows, there is a Krayt Dragon cave in the Eastern Dune Sea. That is where Revan had gone prior. Uh, Easy to surmise that the star map is there. She killed the Krayt Dragon while she was here. The Krayt Dragon got buried in the burial mound, likely because of the Tusken Raiders, because of their own little religious things. A new Krayt Dragon had taken over the cave as well. The Cult of Isaidus has taken the archaeologists that were studying Krayt Dragon remains, and others that were searching for where Revan had been were misdirected by an impish old man to go to the totally opposite direction of which they meant to go. So, collectively, that is what you have.
Enoch is going to be studying maps of the East Dune Sea so he can have his bearings when he's out there.
I want to fight a dragon.
Zeke, we ain't fighting the dragon. We're taking it home with us.
It'll be easier to take home if it's not conscious.
Maybe, but we want to tame it enough to where it doesn't attack us either, Zeke.
It won't attack us if it's not conscious.
But I also want to take care of it and pet it.
It will be easier to pet if it's not conscious.
Zeke.
He's not wrong.
He's not. He's really, really not.
Zeke, I'm going to ask you very nicely not to mess with my dragon.
It's not your dragon yet.
It will,
But it's not yet.
but it will be.
Maybe.
I'm going to pick you up again. But this time I'm just going to carry you, and that's going to be your timeout. That's going to be your timeout. It'll be a timeout bench press.
Zeke actually leans forward at this for a minute. And, sorry, Enoch, you're getting a little more squished in the corner because of it. And he looks at Juvia. And he's very quiet for a moment. And then he just says, I may sound stupid, but that doesn't mean I am stupid.
Well, honey, I never said you were stupid. I just said that I could lift you. Again. I don't doubt your intelligence. But if you make Mama Spider angry, I will timeout bench press you. Okay?
He's just staring at her. He hasn't responded.
Good talk, lil slugger.
As poor Enoch is getting squished.
Enoch is now a pancake.
He's just squished reading his data pad. It's like that, like on those car trips when you have all of the kids squished in the back seat, and there's that one that's like super squished against the door, like reading a book or is on his iPad or phone or whatever. That's Enoch right now.
Does he have like his drink in the air with his pinky out? Pinky out.
I mean, he literally could have his drink just floating there, and he's using his pinky to control where it is. Because the rest of his hand is holding his data pad. Benefits of the Force. You don't even have to move your hand in order to drink.
Right.
Yeah, he's definitely. I know exactly what you're talking about, Angie. Only that was me with all of the stuff being brought on said trip, being squished in and around me, and I was up against the door because it's the only place I could sit. Terrible driving down from Canada to Umote.
Yeah.
0 out of 10. Don't recommend.
glad we established that. But
So have we established? Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Angel.
I was gonna say, but yeah, that is the information that you have, courtesy of the joint connection. I will say that you guys, do know the exact location of both the Crate Dragon Cave as well as the burial grounds that they're in. They're two different areas, but both from Epsilon's connections, Zeno's connections, and the like. You guys were able to kind of narrow down exactly where they are. So both of them would be good to investigate. The burial grounds are where the Cult of Isaidus had been taking archaeologists, so there may be remnants there to investigate to see what they're up to. Along with the Crate Dragon Cave, where the star map was that Revan had accessed. So, that being said, you are left with the decisions of where you guys would like to go based off of your individual preferences. As you guys are kind of poring over this pooled information and making, excuse me, making some decisions and kind of trying to figure out where would best fit. Just because we don't have much time left, I don't want to get us started somewhere else. So we will end it there and pick it up next time with you guys venturing into the Eastern Dune Sea to gather further information on both the Star Forges and the Cult of Isaidus.